So, I never expected to be palling around with the captain of the guard.
We're not pals.
We're not? What about that time we painted each other's toenails?
Do you want something?
Love, life, and liberty. What more does a man need?
You're in a jolly mood.
Well, when you're here, I know you're not leading men into Darktown to arrest me.
Do the Kunari look like the sharing type to you? Of course they want it back.
It feels good to be captain of the guard, yes?
No, I will not change the patrols around your mansion again. There's already been too many questions.
You wound my pride with such accusations.
But you were going to ask.
Eventually.
I'll look at the roster and see what I can do.
Let me guess. Our friends from Parvalan decided to take over after all.
I can't imagine what Hawk sees in you.
It is done. Leave it be.
Well, good. I always knew she had some sense.
Do not make light of this. Leaving was the hardest thing I've ever done.
Have confidence, Knight Commander.
You will not conquer this city without a fight! Cerebos! Finicatus!
My offer for you to train the guard into Vinter fighting techniques. I've heard nothing.
My abilities were inflicted, not taught. I will not pass that on.
Some good should come of them.
No.
You seem confused, Seeker.
The champion killed the Arashok in single combat? It just sounds so... romantic.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you developed a case of hero worship.
Why? Because I have respect for a woman who built herself from nothing?
Mm-hmm.
You should have lived in Tevinter. You'd be happier there.
You're probably right.
There, your magic would be a mark of honor. Apprentice to the right magister, you would do well.
Is there a downside?
Only if you're bothered by owning a few slaves and performing the occasional blood ritual.
So they all do those things?
Just the ones who don't complain about how powerless and persecuted they are.
That's enough, Meredith. This demeans us all. Surely you can see that. Go back to the gallows and calm down, like a good girl.
You keep staring at me. Is it my eyes again?
You're very lanky for an elf. I like lanky.
From what I gather, you like a lot of things.
Nonsense. But when I see something I like, I go after it.
I suggest keeping your distance.
Now you're just making it challenging.
If you think that was bad, I should tell you about the Black Marsh.
See, when you say things like that, Blondie, it just makes me glad I didn't know you sooner. Who goes to a place named Black Marsh on purpose? Now, they called it Beer Marsh. No, still doesn't work.
You've got a point. The marsh part does cancel out anything else. Flower Marsh, Kitten Marsh. No, no good.
You do have an opinion on mages, don't you?
Of course I do. I just don't feel a constant need to bring it up. Mages don't worry me. And I don't believe the Templars when they say I should be worried. I'm more likely to be shanked in a bar than eaten by an abomination. You can hear those coming a mile away. Oh, is that an abomination coming to eat us? We should get out of here.
Abominations don't go grrr, arg.
They don't? I should rethink the whole thing then.
It's a crystal that forms from concentrated manure and urine.
Ew. What duties did you have? As a slave, I mean.
Not this again.
I heard that Tevinter slaves are kept oiled so they glisten. Did your master oil you up? Did you glisten for him?
I was his bodyguard.
Always close at hand. Always within reach. Glistening.
You have an entire story written in your head already, don't you?
Tell me what you would have of me then. But I won't forget you blackmailed me to get it.
It's not always fun and games on the sea, though. There are storms and hostile pirates. And it's trying being cooped up with men who haven't seen a woman in months.
You're a woman.
Exactly. And I don't usually let them touch me, so they get frustrated. I insist all of them get alone time. Helps with the crankiness.
They're already lonely. Why would you insist they be alone some more? Ah, Meryl. What? Did I miss something?
Go think about it. Maybe it'll come to you.
I wanted you to have this.
What's that? A pillow?
Hand embroidered by my mother. The only thing of hers they let me keep when I went to the Circle.
Why in the name of Andraste would you give that to me?
You've been a good friend, Varric.
You keep your pillow, Blondie. And may you have many more dreams of killing Templars on it.
Why do you even like me? I must seem so dull.
What brought this on?
Your life has been so exciting. The adventures, the duels, the passionate love affairs. Compared to that, my life is a stale, dry biscuit. I wish I had your life.
No, you don't want my life.
Why?
Because you have a good heart, and you deserve better.
Well, woof to you too. Ruff! Ruff! You've never come to the alienage, Fenris.
I don't live in the alienage.
Don't you care about the plight of our people? Not even a little bit.
I don't need to visit the alienage to know what they suffer. I know it better than you.
I've lived there for years. I see it firsthand.
And I lived it.
Or did he tell you he was a lawman from Antiva, charged with apprehending a ridiculously handsome fugitive?
He didn't mention how handsome.
Ah, so you've noticed. I credit my high cheekbones and pouty lips.
I suppose you're just thrilled how the Knight Commander's basically stepped into the Viscount's seat.
She can't stall the process forever. It's not her place. Leaving the Viscount's seat empty will just tempt people to fight for it. It will cause more trouble than it prevents.
Well, you've got a brain in there after all. I was convinced that headband was to keep it from falling out.
So you can either tie me up, gag me, and then manhandle me. Or you can take me to Nuncio. Which will it be, I wonder?
You're very compliant for a fugitive.
Compliant, yes, and very bendy. But truthfully, I know when I am outmatched. I would rather take my chances against the crows.
I like your list of options. But does it have to be in that order?
I knew you couldn't resist my obvious charms. It's the accent, isn't it?
I still don't get the name. Did they hang someone here?
Someone is hung if they are drunk, I think.
Actually, they did hang men here. By their feet, until they starved.
Good thing they were drunk then.
Excellent. Killing my former brothers in arms is oddly satisfying. I've little reward to offer you, champion, but perhaps this will serve as a token of my thanks. It is time for me to move on. Unless you'd care to get to know each other better, champion.
That depends. How much do you wish to test that luck of yours?
Oh, I see. Fair enough, then. It is time to move on, as they say. I have a little war to wage back home, and so little time. Perhaps we'll meet again, champion.
Oh, cheer up, Blondie. You're making me cry just looking at you.
Don't.
You made a mistake. It happens.
I almost killed a girl.
You've killed 254 by my last count. Plus about 500 men, a few dozen giant spiders, and at least 2 demons.
It's not the same.
Why? Because this one you feel bad about? Maybe that's the problem. You know, you play Diamondback better than my cousin Vidar. You wag your tail whenever you have a good hand, though. Might want to watch that.
Is it brilliant or horrible that you played Diamondback with my dog?
All I'm saying is he'd be up more than 2 sovereigns if he watched his tells. My Uncle Emmett has a whole pack of rat terriers who play every week. They're a cutthroat bunch. You've got a long way to go to be their quality. Now don't take it bad. You're still better than Anders. Coming to the Hanged Man later? You know you still owe me 5 sovereigns, Elf.
I'm good for it.
Meaning that you'll borrow it from Hawk, probably. Coming to the Hanged Man for Wicked Grace later?
Never miss it.
The Hanged Man. Oh, but that place is filthy.
Come, Dulcie. Perhaps you should lie down.
Oh, but the Hanged Man is so filthy.
It is filthy.
So, you and Hawk?
What about us?
I want to make sure I get all the details right when I tell this story. Did you sweep her off her feet, or was it the other way around?
I'm not telling you anything but this. There was no actual sweeping involved.
Every little bit helps, Elf.
Emile Delancey?
Wow. Are you a mage? Because you just magicked my breath away.
You need more practice with women.
Can I practice on you? In private?
Can I kill him yet? He's hurting me.
The fool doesn't understand how to lay low.
You should have this back.
Twine? When did I loan you a ball of twine?
You gave it to me when I first moved here, when I kept getting lost in Lowtown. It drove the merchants in the market completely batty, but it did help me find my way.
Keep it, Daisy.
I don't think I'll be getting lost again anytime soon.
Well, you never know. Might need to tie a package up, hang a lantern, dress a roast chicken. It's multi-purpose.
Me nervous? Nah. Cursed, insanity-causing shards of evil make me feel warm and fuzzy.
See? Nothing to worry about. What are you having? Edwina, let's get a couple of drinks here.
What? Why are you looking at me like that?
You're in love.
I am not.
Every time she looks away, you stare at Hawk with those sad puppy eyes.
There are no puppy eyes.
It's all right, you know. Even you can be happy once in a while. It won't kill you. But your face might crack if you smile, so be careful.
Are you about to die? Am I? Why so serious all of a sudden?
Don't panic. I just needed to get that off my chest. You know, it's 6 years today. 6 years since I found you dragging your tail out of Bartran's office. Here's to whatever comes next.
Yes?
Is it like you thought? It's nice, isn't it? He seems nice.
Yes, he's very nice.
I know, and you're so cute when you're with him. Not like normal you at all.
Haven't you got something unholy to do?
No, we're following Hawk. That's important too.
I don't know if they seek Congress with demons or merely a walk in the moonlight.
Walking's not so bad. Even mages need exercise. Aveline, what's in your mirror?
What do you mean?
In your mirror, what do you see?
A warrior? A wife? All the mistakes I made to get here and make it right. Why? What have you decided to see?
Sometimes it's hard to tell. Cracks, mostly. Maybe I'll borrow yours sometime, if that's all right.
It's all right.
If there is a future to be had, I will walk into it gladly at your side.
Is there a story behind Bianca?
There's a story behind everything, Daisy.
So tell me.
I can't.
Why not?
There was a girl, and I made a promise. Bianca is the only story I can never tell.
You can't say that. Now I want to know even more.
That was the idea, Daisy.
I couldn't ask for a better sister. May the Maker bless you and keep you, sister. I wish Mother had lived long enough to see this. I hope she's found peace.
Why are you still here, Varric?
Starkhaven's too pretentious for me, and Cumberland's too boring.
You always say you hate commitment, but here you are, 6 years later, still at Hawke's side.
Dabbling. I thought you'd have noticed by now. I lie a lot.
You'll have to go through me.
Idiot boy. Just like all the others.
She's clearly lost her mind.
I didn't expect you to stick around for this mess, Meryl. This has nothing to do with your elves.
Everything affects everything. We were born, a bunch of things happened, and now we're in a mess with our friends.
That seems too simple.
Simple is good. It sneaks up on you, makes you smile. Maybe that should be enough once in a while.
Simple it is.
I've been here for hours. Ada hasn't shown up. No one has. I don't like this.
I don't like this. That's right up there with what could possibly go wrong.
I was speaking to Donick the other day.
Since when do you talk with my husband?
He comes to the mansion once a week. We play Diamondback.
What? Why am I not invited to these games?
He says you get angry when you lose.
I do not. All right, perhaps I do. Still, that's no reason not to tell me.
He's a good man, Aveline. I enjoy his visits.
Fine, fine. Have your man time, then.
There's a fire on the other side of this row. Get help before it spreads.
What?
Don't you hear the screaming? Are you deaf?
I don't hear anything.
Shit! A fire could destroy the loot. We have to check.
But...
Come on!
Not bad, Hawk. Not bad at all.
There's a war coming. Does it feel different, fighting by choice?
You were never ordered to kill?
I was a soldier, but I was willing.
I was willing as well, but not by choice. If that makes any sense.
Does anything in this mess.
You harbor a viper in your midst. It will turn on you and strike when you least expect. That is in its nature.
My sister is stronger than you think.
You tell him, sis.
Thank you for that tip, Fenris.
You caught them then?
Yes, a whole nest of slave runners working out of the Undercity.
I imagine you imprisoned them?
Sadly, they never made it to prison.
You always know how to make me smile, Aveline.
So, this is awkward. Anyone else think this is awkward? How about we move along?
So you found your brother?
I did. Wasn't expecting that.
I assume there was a time when you and he were friends?
With Bartrand? No. Just brothers. Occasionally he wasn't insufferable.
And yet you remained at his side.
Too bad he didn't do the same.
Is this really where the elves live?
That tree's not terrible. You're too quiet, Varric.
I'm thinking of switching to romances. Nothing? Not even a foreboding frown?
I am content. Write what you will.
Well, that certainly takes the fun out of it. Contentment in the barracks? We'll pay to hear that shit.
Then I should have thought of it years ago.
This city is amazing. Do you know I saw someone get mugged? Right outside. It was fascinating. Everything happens here all at once. How does anyone keep it all straight?
Someone has jumped outside your door, and that's exciting?
It must be the alien age greeting. Hasn't happened to me yet, though. They must not like me.
Strange. I always thought I'd wind up arresting you someday.
If I ever decide to get caught, Aveline, you'll be the guard I let catch me.
Let catch you?
Decide to get caught didn't trip you up, though. Good to know.
I'd make a terrible slave. I talk too much. And I do that.
Another secret society meeting in a warehouse. Do you think the owners charge them rent?
Tell this dirtbag who we are.
If I were you, I wouldn't be threatening the Viscount's son.
What? Oh, I suppose you just got a tip from a slaver that he was selling mage flesh cheap. You never thought to ask where he got it? You never wondered if you were buying the Viscount's well-known love child from his elven mistress. The boy he swore to protect, even if it meant raising the entire Free Marches?
I seek no war with the Free Marches. Take the lad to his father.
How are you at finales, Varric?
I'm expecting some practical experience fairly soon.
Make it a good one, will you?
For you, madam, endless sunsets and roses.
Varric.
And the swift hand of the law sweeping all aside. I thought it went unsaid.
At least if you go nuts out with the elves, you won't be killing any of us.
Who is Bianca?
My crossbow. Say hello, Bianca.
But why Bianca? You must have named her after someone.
Nope. Mirabelle was taken.
The way you fondle your weapon is disturbing.
Hey, I'm a perfect gentleman. In public.
Nice to see you too.
I notice you hardly ever comment on mages and Templars and such.
It's a lot of humans in skirts. I get them mixed up.
I highly doubt that. The subject comes up all the time.
Tell me about it.
And no opinion, one way or the other.
Opinions are like testicles. You kick them hard enough, doesn't matter how many you got.
That's something.
You can't gesture or stomp your feet twice for yes or something.
The sister has assumed a great deal from a few grunts and twitches.
So, the Lady Sunshine, what's your first act as a noblewoman going to be?
A noblewoman with no fortune and no title. Looking for work, probably.
Practicality is for peasants, milady. You need to do something frivolous to celebrate your birthright.
Such as...
Come up to the Hightown Market and complain bitterly that there's no Orlesian silk that matches your eyes.
But what if something does match my eye? What will I do then?
Insist that they're blatantly copying you and demand royalties. A good noble always has a complaint ready, Sunshine.
Bertrand was pretty desperate for help. He must have had a good reason to turn you down.
You did. We had a disagreement.
They tried to kill each other.
Maybe I should put you to use, Varric. Have you penned some warnings for the lawless?
Who's that for? Are most criminals big readers? Seems like pacifying the nobles.
Pictures, then. It was just a suggestion.
Well, how about a giant sign that just says don't? You could hit people with it.
Thank you. I get the point.
I've been looking everywhere for you, Messiah. If only you humans didn't all look the same.
We can't all be short and bearded like your people, Bowden.
Indeed. It's quite a shame, really.
Ravani, stop looking at my chest. My eyes are up here.
But the chest hair...
Do you know know how much I suffer under your gaze. I am a person, not an object.
Varric?
Just shitting you.
Well, look who's here.
I knew it. I shit you not, Ravani. It was this big.
There's no way. Impossible. I've had hundreds of those in my hands, and they're never that size.
Would I lie about something so critical?
What are you talking about?
We're discussing knives, of course. Well, daggers, technically. I never remember the difference. Why? What did you think we were talking about?
And you'll wake up and find someone stolen your trousers.
That's when you know it's a party.
No, Ravani, you promised me you'd tell me how you're shipwrecked.
I was drunk. I thought the reefs around the Wounded Coast were made of candy.
Oh, come on.
And a demon told me to do it. It bet me 60 sovereigns and a bottle of port. You're not the only one here who can bullshit, you know?
Don't tell me these things. I might have to lock you up to keep them off you.
Sweetheart, I'm not letting anyone lock me up. You included.
I'll let you run your fingers through it if you want.
Your chest hair. My fingers. Oh, Varric, stop. You're making me quiver.
You know you want to.
Oh, I do. I can't resist you. No woman can.
I know. It's a terrible burden.
Carry on. I love to eavesdrop.
Hawk said sarcastically.
You know, I hate it when you do that.
Hawk muttered in an angry aside to the dwarf.
If, you two have a moment.
And here we are in the brothel. My day is complete.
The difference between a courtesan and a whore is... well, their shoes are nicer.
I don't think anyone's looking at their shoes.
Madame Lucine runs the place for Harlan. Or with him. Or on him. It's a coterie thing.
Oh, cloak and dagger phrases. How about... the queasy crow flies at midnight?
How about the smart-mouthed Ferelden gets slapped across the face?
Apostate prostitutes? Apostitutes!
It appears our new friends make their home in the Undercity. Shall we pay them a visit?
Who are you?
I'm here to report Sir Conrad.
I know him. Did he do... something? Or something?
One moment. Are you well?
Oh, it's just that, you know, it's hard to think sometimes. But I will do my duty. If you've seen something, suspicious, let me know.
I've always wondered, why is every surface dwarf a merchant or a smith?
You left out criminals and hired muscle.
They don't count.
We dwarves are drawn to shiny objects. Sort of like magpies, but with business sense.
You're kidding.
Of course I am. We come to the surface with the skills our ancestors had, Blondie. You think there's a tradition of dwarf woodcutters in Orzammar? Beekeepers? Sailors?
Well, there could be mushroom growers and nug wranglers.
Orzammar will never let those people go topside. Too vital. Also, embarrassing.
So I don't have to worry you'll run off with a desire demon. Unless you're passed out drunk.
I can safely say, milady, that if I'm passed out drunk, I'm not running anywhere. Anyway, I'll stop babbling now. Thanks for hearing me out, Hawk.
I thought all dwarves had beards. Where's yours?
I misplaced it, along with my sense of dwarven pride and my gold-plated noble cast pin.
I thought maybe it fell onto your chest.
Oh, the broody elf tells a joke.
I don't brood.
Friend, if your brooding were any more impressive, women would swoon as you passed. They'd have broody babies in your honor.
You're a very odd dwarf.
Then you thought I was joking about the pin.
Speaking of romance, you and Fenris, eh? That taut, controlled body, The brooding demeanor and intense gaze. I hear he still wears the shackles from his life in bondage under his clothes. You know what they say about men like that, don't you?
I'm going to regret asking you to continue, aren't I?
He can't find a saw. I had you there. You thought I was going to say something dirty.